Hi, my name is Brooke Lipman, and this is Wine Together, a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat. So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready. This week, I have another special guest joining me, my brother Rinn. For this week, we will be talking about reality TV. So, yeah. I'm pretty excited. Also, not reality TV, but Dad and I just watched this movie called Blitz, and I swear to God, it's not even a horror movie, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. It was, I I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie that has scared me as much as that movie did. It was so horror, like, oh my God, it was just really sad. Yeah.
I that's so funny because I had the opposite thing where I watched a horror movie and I was like, wow, this is not this should not be in a horror genre. It should be in drama
Mhm.
because it was more like dramatic with what they were trying to
Yeah, what
uh
movie is it?
the deliverance.
Well, isn't it like about like a exorcism?
Sort of. So um the deliverance is so it's about um this family that lived in this house, which Zach Bagans actually bought this house.
Oh my
And
God. Oh, I've heard about that. And doesn't he
yeah,
date people and then like he does crazy things?
yeah,
Like
it's the house that makes people go crazy.
yeah. I think it's just Zach that makes people go crazy.
Well, that's funny because we can. He is technically real. I know he's ghost hunting, but he's technically reality TV.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I think that he is very interesting of a character in the sense that he's like so over exaggerated.
Hmm.
Um, but like my like the Demon House one, I mean he bulldozed that house
Uh-huh.
after he bought it basically.
Jeez.
But people are saying that the property itself is still problematic.
I feel like I need to adjust my camera.
But like the whole the Deliverance, I feel like if I was Latoya, I would hate that movie because
I
Latoya is the mother that the story that they based it on actually happened to.
haven't seen The Deliverance, so I'll have to watch it. But oh my God, no, I mean it wasn't even that because it didn't have like the makings of a horror film. It was just scary because I mean it's about World War II.
Oh, okay.
Why we watched it because I mean I thought it was just gonna be a movie about World War II. It was the most stressed I've been in my life.
Why did you fall in love with one of the characters and think he was gonna die the entire time?
No, it's about a little boy that like he was supposed to be evacuated to the countryside during the Blitz, which is, you know,
Hmm.
when the Germans were bombing London.
Right.
And he like jumped off the train and like got home, like tried to run away back to home. And like it's about him and like all the bombings in the city of London. He's trying to find his mom and he's like in London when there's a bunch of bombs by himself. Oh my God. It was so stressful. And then it's also like the other side where his mom is looking for him because she didn't know that he ran away from the train until like the end of the movie. My goodness.
Mm,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Awesome. It's not actually wine, but it's called rosé, so I thought it was funny. Oh, I should change my light so you can actually see this. Hey
Yeah.
Google, change the light to white. There we go. There we go. Much better. Sorry that my lights were bad for the first couple seconds.
Yeah. Oh, but we're
Um, but I I have two drinks actually. I have this rosé, yerba mate, and then San Pellegrino.
nice. I've got wine and some water here. Yeah. And I could make tea and espresso because I've got machines here, but I'm not gonna do that right now.
Oh, are you sitting in the room that I used to live in?
No, this is my room.
Oh, you moved it into your room?
No, no, no. This is a different espresso machine.
You guys have two espresso machines?
Or two espresso machines. The other one is out in the hallway now, and I have mine um in here.
You guys living the rich life over there.
Oh my gosh, espresso machines are not cheap. I think this one was like 20 francs. No,
Is
but
our franc almost equivalent to $1 in US
uh,
dollars?
I think it's a little more. I think it's like 150 right now. I don't
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
Because that one I think has fluctuated back and forth the most that
Uh
I've looked at.
that would not surprise me. It's at 1.13.
1.13.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So it's basically one Swiss franc is one US dollar.
Um I mean if you put it in like a cumulative sense, it's a lot more than that. Like, because most things don't cost a dollar, you know? So it when you multiply it, it's a lot more. But anyway, could you actually scoot back a little bit because your head is gonna
Oh,
be,
sorry, is my head getting cut off?
yeah.
I was just leaning forward. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I have to continually tell mom to move the camera back because she's always too close, and I cut off the bottom so that you can't see like the zoom stuff. And so
Okay.
sometimes it literally is like this on her.
I've noticed that in some of the podcasts.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I tend to lean forward because I feel like I'm too far back and that you can't see me, but knowing that you crop it and then you'll be able to see me.
Yeah. Anyway, reality TV. I don't watch much reality TV actually.
That's funny. I mean, I definitely had a reality TV phase and I would like to blame our cousin Gracie for that
Uh-huh.
because I feel like she watches a lot of reality TV.
Really?
Open this. But like I watch um
I thought I was gonna hear it like pop and I didn't actually. That's really funny.
um
Mhm.
I I remember watching 19 Kids and Counting.
I remember watching that with Gracie, I think, yeah.
Yeah, exactly with Gracie, yeah. Um
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
fun.
I mean
They're terrible people. They're Trumpers.
it what it is they're Mormons.
Mhm.
Well the mom and dad and maybe the son are still, but I know that Jill, Ginger, and one other one left the Mormon community.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with them. But what about that one show where it's like very similar, but the guy is so clearly gay, but like he's in a straight marriage?
Oh, that you know what that sounds like to me?
Huh.
That sounds like My Husband's Not Gay, which
No,
is literally the name of
it's the
um
name of the show.
it's the name of the show is called My Husband's Not Gay.
And
And the whole concept of the show is that they're in a straight relationship,
Oh.
but they have what they call as same sexual attraction, but it's not being gay because they don't act on it.
No, it's the Chris Lee guy. What's his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Talking about he just
I
looked.
know what you're talking about, and I do agree with you. But he has like 5 kids, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. And
And they're
um
super religious, right?
I know what you're talking about. I've been trying to ask mom, what is this show called?
Oh,
Because
I it's Chris Lee something.
yeah,
Chris Lee knows best.
yeah. No, he doesn't. They filed for bankruptcy like twice, I think.
Yeah. This guy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I do agree that he looks very much like a twin.
Yeah. And doesn't he has like that voice and like they're all in jail or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. He and his wife got charged with like fraud or something.
Yeah.
Um,
His name is Todd.
oh Lord. That's something funny that I had a conversation with Mason about. I was like, I couldn't imagine you wanting to go by your middle name because it's your dad's name, and like it would be so weird to me to for me to like call you Todd.
I know. Well, I had a professor at Dean named Todd.
Did you ever call him Todd, or did you just
Yes.
call him
Like,
Professor?
well, I tried to say professor because again, it was weird. But yeah, typically like all our professors in like the dance and theater departments, we called them by the first name. So like
That's so interesting.
I
All
told
my professors would, pretty much all of them would hate that.
really, well, I mean, I guess it was a little more like informal. I don't know. But
I don't know.
we called
I
him by
don't I don't remember having a professor who would let me call them by their first name. Oh wait, I did have one. I had Mel, who was my psychology, but that's not even like their actual first name. It's like
yeah.
a blend of their initials.
Mhm.
So uh but so there was Professor Mel. Um there was Mills, but that's his last name. Professor Everett, um, Dr. Cook. I always referred to him as Dr. Cook. I know someone had called him Professor once, and he was like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, but that's fair. Like, don't if someone has a doctorate, you should call them doctor because they worked really hard for that.
Yeah, I agree. Which, thinking of him, I was listening to a podcast that Mason recommended me,
Hmm.
the Asian Napoleon podcast,
Hmm.
and the entire time that I listened to it, I just think, man, I really should send this to Dr. Cook.
Is that the guy we saw on the hike?
Yes, that is.
Hey, that's what I thought. I was like, that's
He's awesome. He's literally one of the best professors I've ever had.
yeah,
And I mean, yeah, he's clearly extremely intelligent.
yeah, yes. Okay, I have a question. Do podcasts
Mhm.
count as reality TV if you watch them?
I would I wouldn't necessarily say so because um I feel like it depends because I feel like podcasts are a lot more like they just think about a topic and say stuff. Um, I know some podcasts that can be scripted. I would say there are some podcasts that I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
And for one that I constantly think of is the LOL podcast. I don't know if you know what that is.
I actually don't
Anyway,
have that many podcasts, interestingly enough.
um,
I have a podcast and I don't listen to podcasts.
I randomly came across it on YouTube one time, and I don't remember why, but I remember having very strong feelings about it very quickly
Okay. Do you want
because they are trying to be funny. They're trying to be, I think, I think Cash is always trying to be a little bit edgy,
okay.
but I do not agree that what he's doing is funny.
You know what's so funny is I went to college with someone named Cash and he was like that where he always tried to be edgy.
That'd be really funny if it's the same person, but
Probably
probably not.
okay, so it'd be really funny if it was I have to bleep that name out because I try not to say full names on the podcast.
Yeah,
But I doubt it, but that would be really funny.
that would be, yeah.
Um but yeah, anyway, this kid like he doesn't believe in giraffes. He doesn't think they're real.
Oh, this really sounds like the same person,
I
but
have to
I know he lives in LA.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
I
Cash
mean,
I knew is from
I'm
Mass.
pretty sure he does,
Wait, hold on.
but
What's the podcast called?
he got married at like
Yeah.
8. No, he's a little bit older than Kate. So he probably got married at like 20, and his wife Kate was 18, I think.
Yeah, definitely not the kid I know.
Okay. So um but like a lot of their like punchlines
Mm.
in their podcast is making fun of Kate and calling her fat, even though she's not. She's a very beautiful girl, and that's why I can't watch the podcast because I'm like, this is not funny to me. This is like
That's
really fat shaming,
I
even though
want
she's not.
I wonder if he listens to a certain other podcaster by the name of Andrew Tate.
Or what's the other guy?
Joe Rogan.
Aiden Ross.
Oh, I was thinking Joe Rogan, but okay.
I Joe Rogan, I can sometimes agree with, which is very scary
I don't
because
listen.
he's not the worst person in the world. I
Yeah,
think Andrew Tate and Donald Trump have those places, but
I don't listen to Joe Rogan though, so I wouldn't know.
I've listened to him a couple of times because he had Sam and Colby on his podcast, and
Okay.
so I wanted to listen to that episode to see if he just like ripped them a new ass or something.
Um have you do you know the Reddit on Wiki podcast?
The what?
Reddit on Wiki.
No, but that sounds like it
They
would
write
be hilarious.
reviews. It's that's like one of the only podcasts I listen to.
I listen I used to listen to a lot more podcasts than I do now. I
Mm,
will say, one of my favorite podcasts that I used to listen to a lot is Coffee Talk by Brett and Barry,
okay.
which you wouldn't necessarily know this, but Dad would. Brayden Barry is a musician,
Mm,
and he has two different kind of styles that he releases. So under his actual name, he releases kind of more like electronic, EDM kind of vibes, which I really like those. But he also has the stage name Say We Can Fly, which is a little more acoustic and emo and things
mm,
like that. And so I got to see him
mm.
uh in 2017. That was my first concert that I could remember going to. I know that I've probably been to other concerts because Mom said I met like John Mellencamp or someone because I used to go to concerts when I was a baby.
Do you even know who John Mellencamp was? Is was? I don't know if he's still alive.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just yeah, I'm pretty sure he did parodies, But yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp. Yes, he's still alive. That's positive.
I love how if I say someone who's like older than us, you look if they're dead or not.
I have to. He's like 73.
So mom is what, like
Almost 60?
almost, huh?
Almost 60?
Yeah, almost 60. Dad is 52, yeah. See, I know they're 6 years apart.
Yeah.
I know that. But mom's 58.
Yep.
She's gonna get mad for me talking about
No, she was talking about it on a couple episodes ago that we filmed.
that.
Uh,
Okay.
I didn't even. This episode comes out in almost exactly a month.
Okay.
We're so ahead on stuff. I just have to actually edit the videos.
Nice.
I'm just so lazy. But now I have more time because I don't have German class in the mornings.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I I will say, have you asked for stuff for Christmas yet?
no, but I don't ask for stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't even ask anything for my birthday,
Yeah, I only asked for one thing for my birthday, and so
which was the MacBook.
yeah, and I mean to be fair, that was the only gift I got, and I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
I really need to ask for stuff for my birthday, so
Yeah, I didn't ask him for anything. But I will think it's funny if you don't really ask for anything, no one really sends you anything.
oh
Like
well,
I barely even got sent like money by people.
sorry. I know I don't like get gifts from anyone other than mom and dad.
Yeah, I don't really hear from anyone else except for grandma and grandpa still remember me, so that's good.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
They sent me birthday money. That was nice.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised because I haven't seen them in like
I know.
I haven't seen them since Corey and Katie's wedding, I think.
Oh my gosh, that's been like 2 years.
No, no, because I saw them afterwards
Good.
because COVID happened after the
Yeah, but
wedding.
you saw them at my graduation.
Yeah, I did see them at your graduation, but I didn't really like talk to them.
Okay.
I mean, we had to separate people and uh to kind of stop all the fighting that could have possibly happened.
Yeah. Ugh, boy. But it's okay. I mean, because still live with mom and dad, I think uh
Hmm.
I get like a couple more gifts, but yeah. Because it's
I
easier
mean,
in person
yeah.
than
I know Mason got his PS5.
yeah. But you guys all get stuff like from Amazon and stuff.
I don't. That's all Amelia. And apparently Amelia is paying it with their own money.
Okay.
And
But
I'm just like, I don't know if I believe that. But
mm, that's okay. I'm trying to get her on the podcast at some point.
yeah, it's mainly Amelia that's ordering stuff every single day. That's what you see the most is Amelia's ordering. Because I mean, I haven't ordered anything other than food recently. Speaking of, I have pizza I need to warm up because um it's really funny because like um I'm in the United States
Mm,
and today is Thanksgiving that we're filming this. Um and mom is at dad's parents' house, which is really funny to me that she's at their house, but I had to work a double yesterday. So there was no way I could have been like, hey, can I just like work from this time to this time so that, my mom can pick me up and take me to go Thanksgiving. Um, or like request Friday off, which I feel like I could have done because some were off Thursday.
Yeah.
Um, and I could have been like, oh, you know, we have someone who might. I don't know if she's comfortable clothing by herself yet. She hasn't done it yet. But I
Mhm.
feel like the best way to know if you're comfortable is to at least try it.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's fine. It doesn't really matter to me.
Mhm.
But I just remember everyone was like saying Happy Thanksgiving when they were coming into work, and I was just like not saying it back, and they were just like, "What's wrong?" And it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't feel like supporting genocide.
Yeah. mean, I just like the food. We made stuffing and mashed potatoes and sweet potato pie today. So,
That's awesome. You still made like the Thanksgiving food, but you just didn't really, you know.
I mean, there's not really much to celebrating Thanksgiving other than making the food.
I agree because people, I feel like since the white man wrote the story about Thanksgiving, people don't know the actual history of what
Mm,
happened.
yeah.
Which is why I recommend podcasts kind of like The Age of Napoleon and like Crash Course
Mhm.
History.
Mhm.
But it's which Green brother does that? Is that one John or Hank?
I think it's both actually, but John Green does the history ones.
Okay. I know they both do Crash Course History or Crash Course YouTube. Uh, but I'm pretty sure one does like the history, English, and like um things like that, whereas the other one does science and philosophy.
Yeah, John Green does the history ones. I know because I had to even like actually we even watched them in college. Like I watch Crash Course all the time. I love Crash Course.
Oh yeah, I use Crash Course for so many art history projects because I was just like looking up the quickest way that I could learn as much information that I needed to do a
Mhm.
because we had to do a presentation in my class every week, and I understand it. My professor had uh been going through
Yeah.
cancer treatments.
Uh-huh.
Um, I understand her not having the energy to teach 15
Yeah.
uh students
Mhm.
and having us kind of teach ourselves and then teach each other.
Yeah.
So basically, she was just there to take attendance,
Mhm.
but the students taught the other students.
Yeah.
So we would all be assigned a specific, like, it would either be a specific time period or a specific artist.
Mhm.
And so I just remember doing that. And I remember putting in a video in my presentation because she didn't say no videos at first. And
Mhm.
then I put in like a really short clip
Mhm.
explaining the impact by a German person about the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Mhm.
And this person spoke English,
Uh-huh.
but it was someone there, someone who could feel the impact
Mhm.
of it um, better than someone who's never been there.
Mhm.
And so she's like, I like that you added the video to have that added perspective, but next time let's not do videos in our presentation. And so everyone did not care and kept putting like videos in their presentation as long as it was someone who lived during that time
Yeah.
period or if it was the artist themselves speaking.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're like, no, we do not have the perspective of being that person.
Yeah.
I think videos are very important in the sense of using it from the perspective of the people that what you are talking about affected.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, we've been off topic for like 15 minutes, so
Whoops, sorry.
it's okay.
Right.
Brought up podcasts, so
Yeah. Okay, so I know one uh reality TV show that I really want to talk about, other than Dance Moms, is what inspired Dance Moms, which is Toddlers and Tiaras.
Didn't that come out later?
No, Toddlers and Tiaras was first.
Was it
Yes.
2009?
Toddlers,
Oh my God.
yep. Toddlers and Tiaras came out first.
That is
And
horrifying. I've never actually seen it.
you haven't?
No.
I remember watching it a lot, and just because I like to watch it and I would like hate watch it in a way where I would be like, this is unethical, but it is so funny because these moms are literally crazy.
There's another reality TV show that's kind of like the same thing, but I think it more focuses on a specific like pageant coach called Kim of Queens that I've seen part of an episode of. And it's like teenagers in pageants.
Okay,
It's still like really weird. I'm pretty sure it was a reality TV show. It
this
was
really does taste
it
like
was
porn.
shown to me. It was shown to me by one of my old roommates, not from the condo, but before that, who
Hmm.
also really loved Dance Moms. And so, but yeah, she showed me this episode of Kim of Queens, and I was like, what is this? I don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, but what about that show? Did you ever see the show Preacher's Daughters?
No, but that sounds hilarious.
I was obsessed with that show. That was also on Lifetime. So that was
Okay.
same it's the same network as Toddlers and Tiaras and Dance Moms.
And I believe 19 Kids and Counting.
Yeah.
Or,
No, I think that was TLC.
yeah, that's right. That's TLC,
Yeah,
which
TLC is a different
almost,
brand.
okay.
He is insane. There's so many weird TLC shows that, oh my
I
God.
agree. My Strange Addiction, I'm pretty sure was
That one.
TLC.
There's also didn't know I was pregnant.
Oh yeah,
That terrifies me. What the heck? What?
my my Extreme Sweet 16 or whatever it was. I
Nah.
think that was MTV though.
Oh, what about the Amish one? The one about the Amish
Oh,
people.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, or Sister Wives is also one.
Okay, that's messed up.
That's really messed up.
That
Um,
is messed up.
or oh my gosh, there was another one I was just thinking of. Oh, well, there's also the other ones that aren't either of those that are different ones, like The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
I-
And
the Real Housewives of
I
like
used to
the
think that wasn't a real like I didn't know that was reality TV. I used to think that was all like uh made up. But I was
oh you
uh
didn't think it was a real show?
yeah, I was thinking it was like there's a show that's I think it's like supposed to be a parody of it, and so it's
Oh,
not.
the one with what's her name? But her character name is Katie, and she has her kids Taylor, Otto, and Anacat.
No,
Not that one because I think that one's actually called like the Real Housewife.
maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm also thinking like there's also the other ones like Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiance, that kind of stuff.
Love
And
is Blind has a like game app now, and I
I
downloaded it just to see if it was like bad, and it kind of is.
Oh my God, I haven't seen any of them, but I'm in like my white girl phase, so I need to start watching them, I guess.
What does that mean?
I
White girl face.
I don't know. It was a joke I had with some of my roommates from last year.
That's so funny. I feel like some of your roommates weren't white though, right?
Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
two of them were white. One of them was a white girl, but it's okay because she's a lesbian. So
It's okay because you're a lesbian.
I
White
know
girls,
she
if
was
you're a lesbian, you're okay.
she was on one of the episodes a couple months ago.
Oh, oh yeah, I think I saw a clip of that one,
Yeah.
but
Um,
I haven't watched that one yet. But the one thing I really wanted to talk about is the fact that I feel like I would love to be friends with the Dance Mom girls in the
what?
sense, except for a select few, because I just think they're so crazy, or their moms are so crazy that I feel like we would not get along.
Yeah. Well, you know most of the moms are Trumpers, right?
Most of them, I don't think Christy Lukasiak is not. I don't think.
She's also a terrible person.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I used to think Christy was the best and like
Yeah.
honestly one of the best moms.
Yeah.
Um, it really sucks that I
Mhm.
feel like before, yes, she drank alcohol and she was like, kind of managing it, but I
Yeah.
feel like as time progressed, she just became more and more of an alcoholic.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Kelly is not political at all. Um,
Yeah, which I Kelly now is probably the number one mom in my mind,
it actually,
especially of how she acted and portrayed herself and was so kind to everyone
yeah.
during the reunion episodes that they kind of did with
Mhm. I disagree. Holly is always number one.
I there was a time where I did not agree with what Holly did, and it was in season 6.
When?
So because I actually saw a bunch of comments on because I watched the episode on YouTube because I didn't want to mess up my plaything on my Disney Plus watching it. Um but I really wanted to watch this episode because I remember really liking the dances in it.
Hmm.
So this episode, Bryn has joined the team, but is not part of the team, which makes no sense to me. Just accept that she's there and been dancing with you for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
She's on the team. Like, why? And it really sucks to me because I'm like, wow, Bryn is really a beautiful dancer.
Yeah.
And I think she's a really beautiful girl and stuff. I do not care for her mother in
Yeah,
the
well, you know
sense.
that Bryn and her mother are both Trumpers, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Bryn is not a good person.
I, which is really funny because so are Jill and Kendall, but they hate each other.
Yeah. Oh my God. Um,
And it's just like, what do you think gonna happen? Donald Trump is gonna choose one of you to sleep with and not the other? Are you kidding me? First, he's gonna choose your daughters to sleep with, and then once he's done with them, he's gonna choose you guys.
it's all terrible. I think all of them are like pretty bad. But no, I think Holly always made the best decisions for Nia, and I think that's all that matters.
Hmm.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think there was ever a moment where I didn't disagree. And here's the thing is, except for I think no. No, not even in the beginning. But the sad thing is because like I'll rewatch the show and during season
Hmm.
1 and the beginning of season 2, I so fully agree with Abby on so many things and then she really just goes off the rails.
Yeah, yeah, there are some things like I remember watching one episode where, you know, Chloe's having a meltdown and
Yeah.
she's like, I don't want to dance anymore.
Yeah.
And then Abby hears this from Christy and she's like, no, she totally didn't say that and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, why is she not believing the mother? But then she actually like sees it in Chloe. Like
Yeah.
Chloe's not trying, Chloe's like aggravated and like clearly frustrated,
Yeah.
and so like she pulls Chloe away and like, hey, your mom said this. I didn't believe it at first, but you're really showing it now. What's going on? And
Yeah.
Chloe's like, I just want to take a break. I'm overworked.
Yeah.
And Abby basically talks her out of taking a break.
Yeah, and I mean that's not always the greatest thing, but I think I actually do agree with most of the way of how Abby handled it.
Yeah, I do agree with how Abby handled it, but I do think she should have been like, okay, Chloe, you clearly need a break. Why
Mm,
don't you take a week off of dance and come back once you understand that this is your dream, this is what you want to do. And but it's understandable to be burnt out. A
yeah.
human brain cannot handle being focused 24/7.
Mm,
And I mean, there was a magazine, I can't remember what magazine that did an article about the girls,
hmm
about all their injuries and stuff. And
hmm
they were talking about they were what's really funny is they did a pyramid of who got the most injuries.
hmm
And of course, in such a short time that Brooke was there,
Yeah, she had the most
she
injury.
had so many injuries.
It's because of how old she was, and she was doing acro, and like,
Yeah.
and like, actually, this is where like I agreed with Kelly. Like, you're not supposed to, if you're not like they didn't train correctly to be doing,
Uh-huh.
even though it was a studio that was known for acro, they weren't training their dancers correctly. And also because if you're doing styles like that, and I don't know how many other people would agree with me, but I think ballet is so essential to being able to continue to do stuff like acro and like any of the kind of tricksy ones,
Mm,
like styles, because it conditions your body in a completely different way and it gives you a different stretch. And they didn't have like ballet classes. Like they did,
yeah.
they weren't good ballet classes, and none of those girls were getting technique. And you can see it in all of the dances. Like I watch them, and
Well, I will say Chloe had private ballet, like a different ballet teacher than
yeah,
someone else, I think.
yeah,
Because Christy, I feel felt the same way where, and um, Chloe wanted to be a ballerina. So I
mhm.
think she had like maybe at the same studio, but from what I know, a lot of those girls were not from Abby's studio
No, they
before the
were all
show.
no, no, no. All of the girls except for Vivi in season one were from the ALDC. That's how they
Okay.
the show started.
Okay.
Yeah. So later on they brought in girls that weren't from the ALDC, but even Kendall, I think, had danced there for a year before joining.
Well, Kendall is the OG studio hopper, so
Yeah. I don't like that word though. I don't like that phrase. Because if you are at a studio and you don't feel like you're getting the best training, you are absolutely have every right to go to a different.
right to leave. Yeah. And
I
I do agree with
place.
that, but I will say I feel like there were times where she left where she did not need to leave.
Yeah,
Like
okay, but that was for the show.
yeah.
That wasn't like for real life. Because I think that how they use like that and it gives people who switch studios a bad rap. Because I did that, like my first studio I left because of like people and
Hmm.
not having just yeah, certain people and like some of the
The only person that I liked there, and I remember this, other than some of the like kids,
Mhm.
was Robin, who was the receptionist.
Yeah,
I
she was
believe that was
still
your
own
first studio.
yeah, she still owns the studio.
She owned the studio, but she like hired dancers and like choreographers and stuff.
Oopsies, I just accidentally unplugged everything.
Go
No.
ahead and plug it back up.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, good. There's
I
a,
heard your phone make the charging noise.
huh? Yeah, my computer made a charging noise. Yes.
Yeah, or computer. Yeah. I'm using my phone again because I didn't feel like powering up my computer.
Um, But yeah, I need to get more wine. But it's like it's 9 o'clock.
Please don't tell me you're turning into an alcoholic.
No, I only had one glass of wine already.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's only well, it is 9 o'clock. I'm probably gonna be going to bed soon. Because
Okay.
I'm running the
I feel like we haven't talked much about our topic yet.
oh, not at all. Uh, but yeah, no, I mean, I like. I don't. It's not that I don't like Dance Moms. I like it for. To be honest, I do like the drama. I get like really into it, but it also is just so terribly shows studio life because that's not it at all.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me though, where like the episode I was talking about where like gosh, Kendall and Bryn were like trying to explain that they don't hate each other, they hate each other's moms. And like they think that they're both great dancers, but in like they both agree that they do very different style of dance.
Yeah,
And it was just so interesting how much Ashley and Jill do not like each other.
yeah. What I don't like about it is that like Abby tried to get all the girls to dance exactly the same and like tried to get them to be like that's
Right. Try to be clones of Maddie.
exactly that's not how you get working professional dancers. Like that's not how you get them out there. Like she literally knew nothing about the professional world because like everything that I've learned like from working with people who have actually worked out in the professional world and then like going to like auditions and stuff, it's nothing like what she says it is.
Yeah. I um there's a YouTuber that I definitely think you should watch. He works um he's a dancer, he's really funny.
Mhm,
Um Brad Evans, and
mhm,
he's been doing a lot of like covering Dance Moms, watching it, and he even has his dance mom, his mother, come on
yeah,
his channel sometimes, and they're so funny. Like they are so funny to me. And
mhm,
I'm just like, oh, but they're absolutely lovely. They're both very lovely, and they make
yeah,
me laugh a lot.
mhm. But
I
like,
can, um, oh, I gotta do my medicine soon,
mhm.
but another thing that I wanted to talk about is the just utter mistreatment of Paige by
I know.
everybody in that studio.
Yeah.
And I just, oh man, I loved Paige and Brooke so much. I
Mhm,
I felt like I related to them in a way but other than the fact that like I'm older than you and
mhm,
not younger than you, I
mhm,
felt like I could relate to Paige in a lot of ways. And oh my gosh, like I don't know if you follow them on social media still or whatnot, but oh my goodness, Paige, like she's always been like very pretty, but
mhm,
wow, she is a
mhm.
beautiful young woman now. Like,
I my favorite thing is because seeing them stand next to each other because Paige isn't even like overly tall. Brooke is just really short. So
yes, she
everyone
broke
looks
three
giant next to her.
growth plates.
Yeah, everyone looks like a giant next to her, and it's so funny. And I
It's
oh
so,
my God.
it is really funny. Yeah, Kendall looks like a bobblehead next to Brooke
I know. Oh my God.
because
I feel so bad for saying this because Kalani is like so pretty, but she doesn't know how to dress herself for her body.
I
And
agree. Yeah,
so it's like her proportions get all off, and I feel so bad. It's like, girl, get a personal stylist.
you have the money, get one.
Exactly, get a personal stylist because you have like curves that you can pull off so
I
many.
mean, she just got a breast augmentation, so I think she's a little less curvy now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, like,
It's what's awful is the people who style her to be on TV
yeah.
style her very badly.
Yeah, I think they just listen to what she wants to wear and not say like, "Hey, I think maybe you should look more into this." So,
Hmm.
but yeah.
I
Have you
do think the dress that she wore for the reunion episode was pretty. I just don't. I
Yeah.
think it was too tight on her.
Yeah. I agree. Also, what was with Chloe and Kendall wearing the same outfit?
Were they wearing the same outfit? I don't remember that.
Just in different colors. Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird. It was really, really weird.
I did not notice that they were wearing the same outfit. I had no idea. I feel like they styled it completely differently in my like what I'm trying to remember. I feel like they styled it very differently because
Oh,
I thought Kendall was wearing the turtleneck and a brown skirt.
no,
Was
no,
that someone else?
no. Yeah, that was not from the reunion. That was something else. It
Okay.
was the orange and pink dress.
Okay.
Look up pictures because they are wearing
I'm using my phone to talk to you,
white.
but
Okay, hold on.
uh, I mean, I have my iPad in here. Let me go grab that so I can look at pictures.
Ugh. My God, I just also cannot stand JoJo.
I it was so unfortunate because I used to love JoJo. I think she was so energetic, so great,
Oh,
such a
okay.
great.
Can we talk about how I did the Bobo before JoJo did the Bobo?
Yeah, but you didn't patent it like she did.
Oh, apparently.
So
So funny because I always had a bow, like, and then JoJo came on Dance Moms with the bow, and it was like, oh, you're copy. Like, no, I had it first, guys. Come on, we all know this.
so this is the Kendall.
Just look up Dance Moms reunion
Okay.
before.
Oh yeah, it is very similar. I will say Chloe's is longer.
I think Chloe is taller, right?
Yeah, Chloe's definitely taller, or her heels are taller anyway.
Hmm. So it was probably made because I think she has longer legs. So they were probably made specifically for them. And I think it's really funny.
It was really pretty though.
Yeah. I also just cannot believe that's what JoJo was wearing for the reunion.
It's so casual.
Just looks so ridiculous.
Um, uh, I will say, I love how, like Kelly, I love how she carries herself. She
Yeah.
has always just wanted to make her kids happy.
Yeah.
And then she felt so guilty for
Hmm.
years about the whole incident that caused them to leave.
Hmm.
And like, and I'm so surprised that, they couldn't get the
Hmm.
lawsuit through in a sense of, I'm so surprised they didn't try to do a lawsuit about the fact that Brooke is literally only like 4'11 because she
Hmm.
broke three gross plates because of not having proper stretching, conditioning, and training with contortion.
Yeah. Because if I
Because
remember correctly, like she's naturally flexible. So like
she is, yeah.
so she should have been able to keep up with it with proper strengthening and conditioning and all that because you see like now you see like these ballet dancers that like
Hmm.
they have this natural flexibility and they're able to dance into their 40s because they
Hmm.
like, keep up with like proper like technique and all that.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I remember the episode where she did her butterfly dance called Metamorphosis, and she popped
Like,
her shoulder out.
yeah.
The very first time she popped her shoulder out was
Hmm.
during a rehearsal for something else.
Hmm.
And she popped her shoulder out and she remembered just screaming in pain. And they were, because it was before like cameras were filming and stuff. Um, she was able to go to the hospital, and like ever since then it just pops out and she can't even lift weights over her head.
Hmm.
And she was talking about how she was able to get exemptions in like her physical ed classes because
Yeah.
she physically cannot.
like lift it.
Yeah. She literally did it without weights, in her YouTube video, and it popped
Yeah.
out.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, once you do something like that, things don't heal properly. Like,
It's so, yeah.
yeah, I know. It's terrible. I danced with someone who was hypermobile, and she dislocated her ankles like every other week, but
Uh,
still dancing because she
wow.
did the proper technique and strengthening, and she has a degree in dance. I don't know what she does now, but
That's cool.
yeah.
Um, I don't know what they're doing now. But I remember being friends with them in school, which was really funny because they knew you first through the dance studio.
Mhm.
And then start of high school, we started going to the same school,
Mhm.
and I became friends with them too. Um, but I remember there was a time where I did not like her, and I remember it being because she was very much against the communities that I'm a part of and hanging out in and stuff in high school. But I think she kind of slowly became more accepting. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if that's the truth or if like um, because I have talked to her some, not
Mhm.
much this year, but I did talk to her at the start of the year because she posted something that I was like, oh, that's funny, and like actually replied to, and was like, oh yeah, or like they posted like, oh, what's your favorite memory of me? And I was like, I actually do have one because
Mhm.
like we, she was one of the people where when I was like hanging out with someone and they started getting aggressive, she happened to be there. And so I just decided to get in her car instead and go
Mhm.
with her rather than stay
Mhm.
with this person who was suddenly getting very aggressive.
Mhm.
But yeah, I will say, like, I haven't talked to her in a while, but she did dance with you. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but
No.
Danny, uh, what's her full name? Um, I know her full name's Danielle, but I don't know. Um,
I
she
know who
has always
I think I know
what?
who you're talking about, but we weren't in the same classes.
No, she did hip hop and stuff. I know that.
So, mhm. I know I really miss having dance classes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Um, have you found a dance studio there that you can take classes at?
Well, there's studios, but I can't just like take classes. One, because it's expensive to do that, and two, like I mean, if anything, I'd love to be performing, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna happen while I live in Switzerland because there's not that many opportunities for performance here. So,
Okay.
mhm.
What about if you move to London?
Yeah, but I might have to wait until I get my Swiss passport, which will be in like 3 years.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, what's unfortunate is that like I wish I can understand them not wanting to talk about it because it does suck to get rejected from jobs and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I wish he kind of like talked with it because he'll mention like, "Hey, I applied for this job," and then like I'll never hear about how the interview went or how anything went, or if he heard back from them or anything, or if he just chose not to go to that job because they weren't going to give him a raise based on what he's making now and like stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because like you know, I really wish I would be kept a little more in the loop about that because I know that mom wants the family all back together and stuff,
Yeah.
but
But she also doesn't want any of us in the US. I mean, look, it's not gonna happen that we're all together if no one else is coming to Europe because I'm not leaving, like I'm not going back.
hmm
I absolutely refuse to go back. I don't feel safe being in the US at all. And so I'm not gonna go back.
That's fair.
So
I mean, the only reason right now is that I do not, it's like incredibly difficult
yeah.
for us to get jobs in countries that are not our birth countries.
Here's the thing, I can't get a job in the US either because I don't have any experience.
I mean, you could start with
I
zero experience required jobs, but
Yeah, but I also can't drive. And that's the biggest problem in the US. I can't drive.
right,
So it's easier, and actually, because I've been here so long, it would probably be easier for me to get a job in Switzerland. It'll probably still take me about a year to get a job, but
right.
it would take about the same amount of time in the US.
Um, yeah, it's so interesting to me though, because like I've been working at where I've been working at for a year and a half now.
Mm.
A, a little over a year and a half. It will be, I believe I started in May
Mhm.
or June. No, I started in June, which was a little bit after the car accident.
Mhm.
Once I felt like I was fully healed up,
Mhm.
um, I had gotten the application and applied.
Mhm.
And what's really funny is that I had gone to a concert um with one of my friends, and then I was sleeping in and I had like two missed calls, and they called me again and I happened to be awake, and I woke up and they're like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you got the job. Can you come in and fill out paperwork?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sorry. I slept in because I was at
Mhm.
a concert." And they're like, "Oh, that sounds so fun." And so like I got in there and they were asking me all about the concert, and I like told them
Yeah.
all about it. I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Anyway, we probably need to wrap up just because it is 9:30 almost here. I want to get back.
Okay,
I want to go on a run in the morning tomorrow
nice.
because
But basically, what I want to say is reality TV, a lot of that is staged. Sorry, you're gonna have to believe that.
yeah,
Um, a lot of it is staged. A lot of it is edited out of context,
it's so
and a lot of it causes problems in people's real lives, which is really sad.
yeah.
Um, and I don't condone child extortion
Hmm.
in the sense of they those children, those girls put so much of their life, their time, their body autonomy out
Hmm.
there for people to exploit. And
Hmm.
it's so sad. I
Yeah.
mean, you can see like I I mean, you can see what happened to Brooke. Her
Hmm.
body is so frail now. It's so small. Her shoulder constantly pops out of socket. She still has back problems to this day. And I mean, she's what, only 27?
No, she's 25.
She's not 25,
1998.
26 then.
Oh yeah, she just turned 26. Hmm.
Yeah, okay. She's getting married soon. I know she got engaged.
Yeah, Kalani also got engaged.
I did not know that. I don't
Yeah,
follow Kalani as closely.
I don't follow her, but I follow the Dance Moms subreddit, and she got
Okay.
engaged to a guy that she knew for 6 months.
That's kind of uh I don't know. I mean, sometimes you feel like you know them,
Yeah,
and
the whole thing is weird.
other times I'm just like I think a good amount of time to wait is 2 years. Maybe that's just me though.
Yeah, that's a pretty good amount. Unless you're like older, but they're in their 20s. Like, no.
Yeah. I guess as you get older, the
It's
age,
different. Yeah.
yeah, it just feels different. But I don't think somebody who is 25 should be looking at a 10-year-old. Obviously not, because that 10-year-old is a child. But like I don't even think that someone who is 25 should be dating someone who is 50.
No, definitely not. Yeah. But anyway, I need to wrap up the.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I have to remember the whole thing.
We were talking about
Reality.
uh the
People
damn
get
mom.
engaged. Yeah.
I will say, Jojo, you went crazy. I hope you come back down to earth sometime because you used to be really cool. um Chloe, I'm so proud of her. Am so proud of her for coming out and doing everything that she's doing. Maddie, I'm so proud that you're in therapy. Kenzie, your music rocks.
I haven't listened to Kenzie's music.
It is so good. You really should. Um, Vivienne, you are an iconic queen,
Did she
and
say
I'm sorry that your mom is crazy.
Kathy is really cool actually. Um,
I
so
haven't seen anything of Kathy outside of Dance Moms, which is really
she's a
sad.
cool person.
But but I will say for the show, they just made her seem so evil. But I will say Vivienne has some iconic lines. Oh no, I cut my finger on my mom's ring. I
Oh my,
hope I can still dance.
oh my gosh, but I think it was both Kenzie and Vivienne that had
Mm,
iconic lines. Like, oh,
yes,
I love them both. They're so like all the little kids that came.
yeah.
Just little kids are so weird. I love them. They're adorable. They're so weird. Anyway, it's 9:30. I gotta.
Right, okay.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the conversation. We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new topic. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Wine Together Pod.